Hey everyone, it's Homestead Runner. We have this trampoline in our basement Santa Claus brought when the kids were younger, and now at this point they have outgrown it and they can hit the ceiling when they jump on it. So we went ahead and got a bigger one that we have outside. So this is going to be disassembling this and getting ready to sell it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, something like that. And obviously you can do these steps in reverse to assemble it if you're just purchasing one. So the first step here is to undo this outer netting that just simply gets tied on with these elastic straps every foot or so, and that goes the whole way around. So I'm going to be crawling underneath and undoing the knots. I should state that this is obviously rated to be outside, but having it be inside, it's lasted maybe 7 years and is in basically perfect shape. The only issue here is, of course, with the zipper. It technically works, but the girl's got a hole in here, and then my cat got a hold of the zipper down here. But you know, the next owners could either try to mend that. This could be mended rather easily, or they can just not put the netting on at all, or just you know, use a clothespin or something to keep it shut when the kids are in. So to get the knots out, I just have this small screwdriver that I broke the head off of quite a while ago. Let's see if I can focus on that or not, or maybe if I go. So it's just a pick that I use for things like that. It used to be a screwdriver, but anyway, it works good for these kind of situations. Okay, now that I have all the knots out, I went around and pulled up the padding just to make sure I got every last one. And then the next step is to just pull the netting up. It will have to pull over these N-shape brackets. Okay, I have the netting flipped inside out. It's now on the inside. And then you can see each of these top of the end bracket has a screw that needs to be taken out. Okay, so I took the 6 screws out. They're just a regular Phillips head, very small. And this piece actually that goes in between the top and the bottom here, this middle piece, isn't screwed in at all, so that pops right out. So I'm going to take it all apart and start taking the netting off. Okay, now I got the top pieces off and the netting off. You can see the netting on the air hockey table over there, and then there's all the center posts and the top post. Now these bottom posts are held in with this bolt down here. There we go. And Phillips head. So I'll go around and take all of those off next. Okay, so here's the bolt that comes out. There's a washer on either side of the post, and then a locking washer here, and then the nut. And you can tell which ones are the bottom post because they have a place, there we go, a place for the bolt to go through, whereas these center posts that I had taken off previously do not have that hole. Okay, now I got the top off everywhere, and I just need to undo all the knots for the padding. I undid some of them when I was doing the mesh cover out, and then these things just pull right out. They're not even bolted in because that bolt there that held the upright held all 3 pieces together: the bottom piece, the circle, and then the upright. Okay, now we got the padding untied everywhere and just have all these springs exposed. To pull those, I have a spring puller. This came with our new trampoline. Obviously you don't need this, but it helps a little bit. And to get these off, I like to put my feet up on the bars like that, part of my feet, and then pull like this on the trampoline itself to make the spring looser. Actually, it was a bit easier to hook it down here and then use my foot for leverage and then pull it out like that. Okay, getting those off was actually pretty easy. It only took me about a minute. Normally when you're attaching those, you would do one here and then go the complete opposite end, and then do one here and then the complete opposite end, and work your way around like you would be tightening lug nuts on a tire. That way it makes it a lot easier to do the spring. To remove these though, I just started, see where my finger is here, I just started with this one and then just went the whole way around, and that was easy enough. Okay, so we got the trampoline part off and all folded up, and then we've got our pile of springs here. I'll put those in a baggie. Again, none of these posts are held together. The way these are held together is the spring goes in these slots, and so it'll hold these two pieces of metal together. But so right now they'll just kind of flop right out. Okay, so those three pieces just wiggled right out, and then what you're left with is three of these pieces here. And so to disassemble them is pretty easy. You can just pull this post right out, and that will come off like that, and then that's it with that piece here. So I do that on both sides, and now that we have just this piece here, again, I can shake those off and shake that side off, and then we're left with that piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the last piece here, and then start packing everything up. So here's the finished product. If you were assembling this, you would obviously start at the end of the video and work your way towards the beginning. The hardest part for me was to untie the trampoline part, all the knots and crawling underneath there. If you're assembling it, the hardest part is going to be pulling all those springs. And final shot, everything in the box packaged up very nicely for the next person. Thanks everyone.